Hi, my name is Cindy Martin, and I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And I'm making this video because I want to share the three most important things that people that struggle with anxiety need to know to get well. In my practice, I have seen so many patients struggle needlessly for years. Maybe they've seen psychiatrists, they've seen therapists, they've tried medication, they've done self-help, and they are some better. It's a little bit better, but not a lot better. And the anxiety attacks continue to cripple them and impair their lives. And in my practice, I love treating anxiety because I do see people get well. And I've been trying to figure out what makes the difference between getting a little bit better versus getting a whole lot better. And I've got it pared down to three important things that you need to know, first of all. Not what to do. I'm going to get to those tools of what to do to handle anxiety in my next video. But in this video, I want to cover the three things. Knowledge is power. And when you know and understand these three things, it will dissolve your fear of having anxiety, and it will build your confidence to know that you can handle it, which will help these anxiety attacks to just melt away. So let's get to it. So the first thing you need to know and understand is the normal adrenaline response. I know if you've been struggling with anxiety that this is not a new term for you. You've obviously heard about the adrenaline response, which is the danger response, the stress response, the fight or flight response, right? So that adrenaline response is perfectly normal. It is necessary to our survival that our brain perceives danger and triggers adrenaline release in our adrenal glands to get my body ready to fight, flee, or freeze. And that is to fight, basically, or run away from danger. Your adrenaline system is perfectly normal. It's not faulty or defective. It's just a little hypersensitive and has a quick trigger. So it has this faulty trigger that triggers when there's no danger present. Your adrenaline system hits a false alarm. And so all of the bodily changes that you have in your body that you need to run away or fight danger, if they're happening to you when you're sitting or standing, then you're sitting there stuck with the feelings of these bodily changes. And it doesn't feel too normal to you. They're uncomfortable. It feels scary because, especially if you don't know what's happening to the body and you don't know why those body things are happening. So my first point that I just said is the adrenaline is normal. It's nothing for you to be afraid of. Your adrenaline is normal. It's your faulty trigger. It's your bad timer that's a little bit off. So my second point is that when your faulty timer triggers your adrenaline and you get the bodily changes that feel uncomfortable, they are not harmful either. That's my second point. All that yuck that feels awful is not dangerous. It doesn't harm you at all. Let me show you how when you have fear, it is the vicious cycle that keeps triggering your adrenaline, because the brain's job when adrenaline is present is to stay hyper-focused on the enemy. In other words, if you're a deer in the forest and you turn around and see a tiger, you start running, and her brain is going tiger, 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 and she keeps running until the tiger's gone. In your situation, as soon as the adrenaline faulty trigger goes off, and you've got that false alarm and those uncomfortable bodily sensations going on, that it's telling your body to fight or run, but you're not running, you're just sitting, then that becomes the danger that your brain is hyper-focused on. And what are you supposed to do with the danger when adrenaline is present? Fight it or run away from it. So there you are, sitting there trying to fight your own body. You tried different things, or run away from your own body, but that you can't exactly do that, can you? So those bodily sensations have become the danger to you, and I'm telling you that you have to get rid of that fear, because adrenaline is not harmful and the bodily changes are not harmful to you. So it's like this. Watch what happens when you get rid of fear. When you're walking in the forest and you see a long, skinny, black thing right in front of you on the path, and it's got a nice curve to it, your brain goes, snake, and you get an adrenaline response, and your body is telling you to run away from that snake, preferably. I don't know if you're going to fight a snake, but I'm not going to fight a snake. But when you look more closely, you see it's a stick, and immediately the adrenaline system goes off. So adrenaline is designed to be on when the danger is present and go off when the danger is past. As soon as your brain sees it's just a stick, your body resets and you're perfectly normal and relaxed, and you go walking on down the path. So when you have an anxiety attack, think of the things that are causing you to be scared. Think of the things that your brain's going, snake. So let's start with the first one. Let's say that, and let me start by saying, every person that has an anxiety attack always seems to focus with every subsequent one on the certain few symptoms that are unique to you. One of my, I have patients that always focus on the heart pounding, or patients that always focus on their dizziness, or patients that always focus on their nauseated stomach. They feel like they're going to throw up. So let me go through those bodily changes, so that you can pick out the one symptom that seems to bother you the most. Let's start with shaking. So when I feel shaking and I feel chest tightness and I feel tightness in my throat, that's scary, right? So that's the danger. Oh my God, why am I shaking so badly? I'll tell you why. Don't be scared. Adrenaline is supposed to cause muscle tension, because I need muscle tension to run away or fight danger. The next thing, oh my gosh, my heart is pounding. I feel like it's just pounding out of my chest. It's racing, it's going way too fast. I think I'm going to have a heart attack. Or I feel palpitations. That's scary. So you push your adrenaline response again. But what does that great adrenaline do? What do you need to fight or run away from danger? You need blood pumping in those muscles. So there's that muscle tension, and your heart rate goes faster. That's normal. A rapid heart rate is normal when adrenaline is present, because you need more blood pumping into those muscles so you can fight or run away. The next uncomfortable symptom is you feel like your breathing is off, like you can't catch your breath. Well, you need more oxygen in that blood to fight or run away. So your respirations become more shallow and more rapid when adrenaline is present. That's normal. Nothing for you to be afraid of. The next thing people notice that troubles them is, my stomach feels really tight. I'm afraid I'm going to throw up. Or my lower intestines start rumbling and I think I need to use the bathroom. That's pretty scary, especially if you're in a situation where you think that might be a little embarrassing. You really don't want to throw up in front of everybody. So there's the fear. Again, I'm afraid I'm going to throw up. I'm afraid I'm going to embarrass myself. You've just pushed the adrenaline button again. But actually, if you were really running away or fighting, this is what happens. The adrenaline in your body makes your involuntary bodily processes slow down. So the digestive system slows down, and that's why you feel this tightness in your stomach, like you want to throw up. And that's perfectly normal. The last thing is sweating. People say, I get so hot and sweaty when my anxiety starts. Or I feel cold and clammy or chills. That's because what is your body supposed to do when you're running or fighting? Sweat, right? The other trick about sweating that's very cool is that it's actually a defense mechanism. So when we sweat as human beings, we're actually a little bit slippery. So if we have a predator chasing us that tries to grab us, they can't get us because we're so slippery with our perspiration. How about that? So what I'm trying to teach you is that these bodily symptoms that you are saying are the enemy, and you're trying to fight them because you're trying to tell your body, stop doing this. Or you're trying to leave your body. You leave where you are. You say, I got to go lie down. I got to get out of here. I got to go to my car. You can't leave your body, because if you go to your car, your body comes with you, with your pounding heart and your upset stomach and your shortness of breath. So this body stuff, even though it's not harmful to you, you're still scared of it. And so it feels awful. It's the scary meaning that you're trying to put to it. You're afraid it's something serious. You're afraid that the heart pounding is a heart attack. You're afraid that the tight stomach is nausea that you're going to throw up right now in front of everybody. You're afraid that the rapid breathing is so shortness of breath that you're going to suffocate. Well, being that frightened that it's something serious just is what keeps your adrenaline going. As soon as you know that this is normal, it's just uncomfortable and not dangerous to you in any way, the fear isn't there to keep the adrenaline going, and that's your kill switch to turn the adrenaline off. So, back to the fight or flight scenario, right? When adrenaline is present, what do? We try to fight or run away from the danger. So that's my third point. I just mentioned it a minute ago. I gave you a hint. You can't stop or run away from your own body. So my third point is that what do you do when you're in anxiety? You know it's adrenaline, number one, and it won't harm you. You know your bodily sensations are uncomfortable, but nothing serious, so you don't need to be afraid. So number 3 point is you just have to wait for it to pass. And you know it will pass because adrenaline always passes. Your brain will catch up and realize there's no danger present, and it will turn off on its own. Think about this. How many anxiety attacks have you had in your life if you're watching this video? Many, right? And how many of them didn't stop? They all stopped. They always pass. So it's that uncomfortable feeling that you have, but it's no worse or no more annoying or any more of a nuisance than your hiccups. It's your fear that it's something serious that makes it so much worse. Like when you get the hiccups, do you think, oh no, is this something serious? Are you afraid it's never going to pass? Do you have to go to the emergency room and see a doctor to get reassured that hiccups are nothing serious? No, because you know what they are. And you know they're going to go away in a minute. You may try to stop them, like taking a sip of water or whatever, but that doesn't really make them go away. Same thing with your anxiety. So you know you can't stop these bodily sensations. You have to wait for your own brain to just turn off the adrenaline, which it will do as soon as it realizes that there's no danger here, and it will pass. So your job is just to wait, stay put, do nothing, and allow it to pass. I'm going to stop there but I'm going to review for a minute. Knowledge is power. When you know that your adrenaline is normal and it won't hurt you, when you know that the bodily sensations are uncomfortable but no harm to you, and when you know that there's nothing you have to do because you can't do anything to stop it, there's just nothing to do except just allow it to be and wait for it to pass, you won't have anxiety about your anxiety. So I'm going to stop there. And in my next video, I'm going to put this knowledge into practice. So stay tuned for part 2 in my next video. Thanks for listening.